Spring potential energy. Spring potential energy is the amount of energy stored from either stretching or compressing a spring or an elastic. In this little diagram here, we can see the three different scenarios. We can see that the string here is compressed. When it's compressed, it wants to get back into equilibrium. So by compressing it, you're applying a force across a distance. So you're doing work on the spring, and in doing so, you're storing energy in the spring. The spring being compressed wants to go back to equilibrium. The same thing holds true when you stretch a spring. When you stretch a spring, you're also doing work. Okay, so you're doing work here, and you're also doing work when it's being compressed. And in either situation, the spring will want to return to equilibrium. So by doing work and by using your energy, you are storing energy in the spring. Some common examples of spring potential energy that we see every single day are actual springs. You can see a spring here, like a little shock. There are shocks in vehicles. There are springs in all different types of mechanical tools. And also slingshots. When you stretch this slingshot, you are storing energy in the actual elastic. Here's the formula for spring potential energy. It's US, S standing for spring in this case. And US is equal to 1/2 kx squared. Let's go through some of these new variables. K is the spring constant. It is a measure of how dense, right, or how stiff the spring is. Okay, these are two good words to think of. How dense and how stiff the spring are. The denser and the stiffer, the more difficult, the more work you have to do to actually compress or stretch the spring. The units are newtons per meter. X is the displacement of the spring. So from equilibrium, if we go back a page, okay, X would be this amount. That's X, or the amount that you compress at X. It's the amount. It's the distance that the length of the spring changes from equilibrium, and that's measured in meters. And then finally, the last new term is US, which is spring potential energy, and the units for that are joules for energy.